Welcome back, SethBling here. And today is the first day of Hanukkah. Last night was the first night of Hanukkah. And so I wanted to share a piece of Jewish culture with you guys. I did grow up Jewish, and so as a kid we played with dreidels. And so what I've built is a dreidel. Dreidel is basically a spinning top. It's got 4 Hebrew letters on the 4 sides, and it's used by kids to play a sort of gambling game. So the 4 Hebrew letters, this one is Hey, there's Shin, this one is Gimel, and the last one is Nun, and it's on the side that was on the bottom. Let's see if we can get it to show this time. Odds are pretty good. Yeah, so it's this one. This is the bottom of the letter, this is the top of the letter, and yeah, so this is Gimel, Nun, Hey, and then the Shin's on the bottom. And so yeah, basically you take turns spinning the top, and you play. This is a very simple game. There's no like bidding or anything. There's a pot in the middle that accumulates pieces over time. You can play with like candy. When I was growing up, we actually had enough dreidels in the house that we played with dreidels as the chips, which was kind of funny. And the 4 different letters mean you do different things. So Gimel means you get to take everything that's in the pot. Hey means you get half of the chips in the pot. Nun means you get nothing and you pass the turn, and then Shin, which is the last one, means you have to give up a couple of items into the pot. And basically you just keep playing until somebody has all the chips, or if you're playing with candy, maybe you can just decide to stop playing whenever and eat your candy. Anyway, so what I built here, obviously is supposed to mimic that. A real dreidel would have something coming out the top, a stem, in order to spin it like a top, and on the bottom it would be more like a pyramid rather than flat, so that it has a single point that it spins on. But this is the best that I could do with what I had. But you can see it does kind of like move around as it's spinning, and it also kind of has some wobble to it, and it gets more and more wobble over time until it falls over, and you get a random letter picked. It is random. I use some randomization methods to make sure it picks a random letter each time. And yeah, obviously you can imagine there's an armor stand here. You can kind of see the armor stand. So the armor stand is wearing a player head on his head, and I've skinned the player head with the 4 letters. And there's a little thing that's supposed to mimic a stem on the top, and a little thing that's supposed to mimic the bottom. Let's go back to game mode 1. If I actually drop the dreidel from up here, we can see. Whoops, didn't do it right. We can see the bottom side and spinning, and there's an armor stand in there. So as for how it works, well, there's a scoreboard objective, set display sidebar, called Wobble. I called it Wobble, and let's drop it. There's another one somewhere. Maybe there are 2 actually inside this thing. It's interesting. Kill editing. Stand R equals 5, C equals 1. Let's see if, yeah, okay, there were 2 inside here. I didn't even notice. But yeah, so if we go to game mode 3, there's a spinning armor stand. Oh, what are those guys in the distance? Oh, right, those are for something else. You'll see those, I'm sure, eventually. Anyway, so the wobble thing here, basically each game tick, that's 20 times a second, there are these 2 villagers, and it randomly picks one of these villagers. If it picks yes randomly, then it increases the wobble scoreboard value by 1, and if it picks no, then it doesn't increase it. And as the wobble counts up, there are some different poses, basically, that the head can be put in. So when the wobble scores between 60 and 65, the head is rotated by 5 degrees. And since it's spinning, it looks like a wobble rather than just a rotated head. And so there's a bunch of different ones between a wobble score of 80 and 90. The head's rotated by 15 degrees, etc., etc. It gets more and more wobbly over time. And so that's how the wobble part works. And then you'll also notice that, hold on, let's try this again. Yeah, you'll also notice that the dreidel moves around as it goes, and it moves around randomly. And to do that, I have 7 sheep. It looks like 5 sheep, but there's actually 3 in the middle. But you can see they're called west, north, east, and south. And every game tick, it tries to pick one of these at random, and it moves the dreidel accordingly by a small distance. And it's just rapidly picking new sheep to pick which direction to move the dreidel. So that is pretty much how it works. That's all there is to it. If you want to read more about dreidels, I've included the Wikipedia link for dreidels, And otherwise, hope you enjoy your holidays. Thanks for watching.